Long before European kings flaunted their gold, before the world's richest palaces sparkled in the sunlight, there was a place in Africa where gold was not just a symbol of wealth, but a way of life. This was a land where the rivers shimmered with promise, and the people's dreams were as bright as the treasures they carried. This was the Songhai Empire, a civilization that would come to define Africa's true golden age. Before the Americas built their first empires, before the rise of the Aztecs or the Incas, there was Songhai. In the heart of West Africa, a story was unfolding that would shape the destiny of a continent, a kingdom born from grit, grown by spirit, and sculpted out of the sands of West Africa. Here, survival was an art, and every day was a testament to the resilience of its people. The Songhai were not just survivors, they were visionaries, builders and dreamers. See, Songhai wasn't handed its power on a platter. It wasn't born in comfort or luxury, it was carved out of hardship, and every stone in its cities was laid with determination. It had to fight for every inch. Every border was earned, not given. The Songhai people knew that to survive, they had to be strong, united and unyielding. It started humbly, by the slow bends of the Niger River, a land of farmers, traders and warriors, all colliding in the city of Gao. Gao was more than a city. It was a crossroads of cultures, a melting pot where ideas, goods and ambitions met. For years, Songhai bowed to the mighty Mali Empire. They paid their dues to Mansa Musa, the richest man the world had ever seen. But Songhai's spirit? It was restless, always yearning for more, never content to live in another's shadow. It wasn't made to kneel forever. The Songhai people carried a fire inside them, a belief that their destiny was their own to shape. By the 15th century, a man named Sunni Ali rose up. He wasn't a prophet, he wasn't a prince. He was a man of the people, a leader forged in the heat of battle and the trials of life. He was a war commander, forged in fire. His courage was legendary, and his tactics were as sharp as the swords his blacksmiths hammered out by the riverbanks. Sunni Ali realized something critical. If you want to protect your people and your trade, you have to control the territory. So he fought. He led his warriors across rivers and deserts, uniting the lands under one banner. By river, by horse, by sword, he conquered Timbuktu, the city of scholars and scribes. Timbuktu was more than a prize, it was a beacon of knowledge, a place where the world's wisdom was written in ink and gold. He stormed Jen, a city of gold, learning and life. Jenna's markets bustled with traders from distant lands, and its mosques echoed with the prayers of many tongues. But Sunni Ali wasn't just another king. He was a force of nature, a ruler who understood that power meant more than just conquest. He mixed Islam with the ancient spirits of Africa. He respected the old ways, but he also embraced the new, blending faiths to unite his people. He let scholars teach, but his warriors led. In Songhai, wisdom and strength walked hand in hand, each as vital as the other. He ruled with iron and flame, and some called him a tyrant, but to his people, he was the shield that kept the darkness at bay. But his mission was never to be loved. It was to ensure that Songhai would never again bow to another's will. It was to build an empire so vast, so powerful, it could never be ignored. Songhai stretched from the Atlantic coast to the heart of the Sahara, a realm of cities, rivers, and endless opportunity. After Sunni Ali's death, a new leader stepped in, Askia Muhammad. Askia wasn't a conqueror, he was a visionary, a reformer. He saw that true greatness came not just from the sword, but from the mind and the spirit. He made Islam the law of the land, bringing unity to the empire. He built schools. He raised up scholars. Under his rule, Songhai became a beacon of learning, a place where knowledge was treasured as much as gold. He organized Songhai into provinces and governors. The empire became a model of order and administration, with laws and systems that kept the peace and encouraged growth. And he turned Timbuktu into a university city, where knowledge flowed like gold dust in the wind. Students came from across Africa and beyond, eager to learn from the greatest minds of their age. This was Africa's true age of gold. Gold was everywhere, in the markets, in the art, in the stories told by fireside. But the real treasure was the culture, the wisdom, and the unity that Songhai inspired. Caravans snaked across the Sahara, packed with salt, ivory, leather, even books. Songhai's riches dazzled Europe. Merchants and travelers returned home with tales of cities more splendid than anything they'd seen before. Its gold glimmered in the markets of North Africa and beyond. The Songhai name became synonymous with wealth, power, and sophistication. But the true power lay in Timbuktu, where African scholars debated astronomy, medicine, law, and philosophy. Here, ideas were as valuable as gold, and the pursuit of knowledge was a sacred duty. Before Europe's universities ever opened their doors, Africa's were already alive with ideas. The libraries of Timbuktu held secrets that would one day change the world. But no empire lasts forever. Askia's successors squabbled. The leadership fractured. The unity that had made Songhai strong began to unravel, and old rivalries resurfaced. And in 1591, an army from Morocco, armed with gunpowder and greed, crossed the desert. The world was changing, and Songhai's swords could not match the thunder of muskets. Songhai's warriors fought valiantly, but swords and arrows couldn't stop muskets. The empire crumbled, Timbuktu was raided, the libraries burned, and the golden age faded into memory, and Africa's brightest light dimmed. The world lost a treasure, and the echoes of Songhai's greatness faded into the shadows, but the ashes still glowed. The spirit of Songhai could not be extinguished. Its legacy lived on in the hearts and minds of its people. Songhai's name still echoes through West Africa. Its universities inspired generations, its stories are still told, its lessons still learned, its trade routes turned into highways of culture. The connections forged by Songhai became the arteries through which African civilization continued to flow. Its spirit proved Africa never needed anyone's permission to be great. The Songhai Empire showed the world that greatness could be born from the land, the people, and the dreams of Africa itself. So next time you hear the tales of kings and empires, remember Songhai. Remember the scholars, the warriors, the traders, and the dreamers who built a legacy that still inspires today, not just for the gold or the cities, but as proof that greatness was already in Africa's veins. The Songhai Empire is a reminder that Africa's story is one of brilliance, resilience, and hope. If you want more stories like this, follow at MovieBAfrica23. There are countless tales waiting to be told, and each one is a thread in the rich tapestry of Africa's past. And subscribe to MovieVibe, where legacy speaks in silence, and the voices of history are never truly lost.